All right, quick video here about plans for 2025. It's screaming up on us in a couple weeks. Oh my God, it's crazy how fast the end of the year always goes. I've got a video I'm going to do for my top 5 albums of the year and songs of the year. I'll have that probably before Christmas. I'm still on the fence on if I'm going to include the new Kendrick in that discussion or not. Because I kind of had my list made up and then Kendrick dropped and it's like, oh, God damn it. I don't want to like rearrange everything now. So I don't know. I'll probably leave Kendrick out of it. I'll probably just call it like, oh no, he just missed the cutoff type of thing. Anyway, for those of you who don't want to listen to me blabber for 12 minutes or however long it's going to be, basically going to keep doing the same thing as in the amount of new albums that I do. Probably going to explore some smaller artists and probably going to do a couple albums on my own that are outside of hip hop, but still sticking to hip hop in general. So there's the quick version. Short version. Long version. Well, I'll start with the new albums. This year, 2 years ago, I said I was going to start transitioning toward doing more and more new releases as they come out. And this year, I feel like the amount of new albums that I did, I'm happy with. I almost feel like maybe I did a little too much. Maybe. I don't know. But I like the amount of new releases I sat down with this year. So kind of expect that same amount next year. Now, obviously, it depends on who's releasing and what's releasing and all that kind of stuff. That is a funny twist about the whole reaction game, right? Like you're very much tied to what's coming out. And so it's nice to have such a massive list of previously released albums to still fall back on if there's nothing going on. But in regards to smaller artists, basically, if there's a new release coming out, and maybe it's a bigger artist that I've just literally never listened to for whatever reason, no one suggested them to me, or maybe it's a smaller artist that I'm kind of aware of, I might divert my attention to smaller artists here and there. There's been some albums that have come out this year that I've listened to both on my own. Actually, mostly on my own. I don't know if I did any reactions to smaller, maybe not. But I really like exploring. I really like exploring music. I think all of that should be very obvious to anybody who pays attention to the channel. I don't really care how many listeners somebody has. If it's a cool album, I want to hear it. That's the bottom line. I don't care if they're the most popular name in music or if no one's ever heard of them. When it comes to the channel, like the channel, in my opinion, is way bigger than I ever thought it would be. It's done more than I ever planned on happening. And so, like, I'm at the point, honestly, where I don't really care if I get more views and more, like, I don't need more. I'm fine. I'm happy. Like, on one hand, it's nice to be a smaller channel and just kind of off the radar a bit. And it doesn't feel like I'm required to sit down and react to certain things when they come out because that's the big thing. That's the oddity with like the online discourse. Sometimes it seems like everybody rushes to the big thing, which is all well and good and fun sometimes, but sometimes I'm just not interested in that big thing, but you have to do it because that's what we're all doing. Anyway, there's that. In that same vein, you guys have seen me sit down with my wife and we listen to certain albums, and I've essentially used her as an excuse to listen to non-hip-hop albums as they've come out. You guys have probably figured that out. It's pretty easy to pick up on. But I was thinking, people have asked, Bob, are you ever going to branch out of hip-hop? You're going to check out new genres? You're going to branch out? I was like, when I think about that, my answer is no. But I thought about, well, why? Why is it no? Do I feel obligated to stick to hip hop? I think at this point, God, I haven't even done a count. I'm probably close to 200 albums that I've sat down and listened to. In terms of a journey through hip hop, I could probably make an argument of it's been a pretty extensive journey. Obviously, there's still a lot more to listen to, but it would be hard to make the case that, well, no, you haven't listened to any hip hop. Yes, I have. Right? I have. But as I thought about that, I realized I don't have like a feeling of obligation. Like, clearly the channel and the people who follow the channel are fans of hip hop, and so we're all listening to the same thing together, and so there's that audience capture that exists. But really, as I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't feel obligated. I feel grateful. I feel thankful. I feel welcomed. I feel like you guys have brought me in to this community. I feel like a part of the community, which is very special to me. And so the idea of going, okay, well, I've heard enough hip hop, I'm going to do something else. No, man, like I'm not cool with that. I feel like I'd be turning my back on the very people who welcome me in with open arms and help me out and explain things and were patient with me as I got things wrong and all that kind of shit, right? So basically, I like the hip hop community. I think you guys are pretty fucking legit, man. Pretty legit. It's a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, there's every community is going to have people that complain about this and that, or whatever, right? I ain't worried about that. But yeah, I'm thankful. So I want to stay within the hip hop sphere. However, there are albums that come out that I personally am interested in because I listen to a lot of different shit. Like, for example, so this year, one of the albums I really wanted to hear was this Imaginal Disc, Magdalena Bay. Everyone was fucking raving about that. Everybody. And I was like, man, I want to listen to that one. I wanted to sit down and do a reaction. I think that'd be cool. Based off of what everyone was saying, I wanted to do a reaction. And I'm in a weird spot where if I think there's a chance I might react to something, then I won't listen to it because obviously to save it for a video. So it puts me in this weird predicament where I want to listen to it, but I can't because I might do a reaction, but I'm not going to. So I should listen to it. But then if I listen to it, now I can't do a reaction, but I want to do a reaction to it, but I want to listen to it, but it's not hip hop. So I feel like I can't. So it's this weird bind that I get stuck in. So what I'm going to do is essentially lightly lift some of that restraint. I was thinking 4, maybe 5 albums a year that are maybe, well, probably new releases. I don't know. But basically, instead of trying to like use my wife as a cheat code to listen to an album that is not hip hop, just allowing myself to check out an album that isn't hip hop, and if people get mad about it, that's fine. They can get mad about it. I'm not too concerned about that. People get mad about all the shit I listen to anyway, even if it is hip hop. Doesn't matter. But really, if there's something that just sounds extremely interesting, I want to check it out. So I'm going to give myself some permission to do that. And really, that's it. So still sticking to hip hop. Same amount of new albums as I did this year, roughly, depending on what comes out, obviously. Going to be a little bit more open to checking out smaller artists and a couple albums that are outside of the hip-hop umbrella going into 2025. That's the plan. And we'll see how that plays out. And, yeah, hopefully I'm looking at the calendar and I'm thinking about my schedule for the next, 2 weeks. I'm going to try and get my album of the year stuff done before Christmas. That's my goal. Not a promise. Remember, earlier this year I made a promise that I'm not going to make any more promises because I can never keep my promises. All right, y'all. There you go. That's the plan for next year. We'll see how it goes. Take care.